while the latest trailer for Fable did get a little bit more positive interaction than the ones that came before, it's still not an extremely happy, promising situation for Playground Games. They're still facing a lot of backlash. A lot of people are not happy with the way that the characters look, the way the characters walk and talk, some of the changes that they're making. And now, allegedly, the Steam moderators for the Fable game page are actively deleting and removing discussion threads. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, this happens very frequently. Community managers just don't know how to deal with the level of backlash that a game faces, and so they nuke the threads. They lock them down, they ban people, they delete the threads, and they think by doing this that backlash will die down, but it really only causes the Streisand effect to occur, and it gets 10 times more intense. And that really is what is happening right now, because I don't think that this Fable game looks like the worst experience ever, right? It still doesn't look like a Dustborn or a Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, but there are a lot of red flags, and if this released tomorrow, I would say, yeah, this is not going to go particularly well for them. And even lifelong Fable fans are upset with some of the decisions that they've made and some of the features that they've removed. But it seems that the moderators on Steam for the game are not taking all of this backlash particularly well, which isn't shocking, right? It's Playground Games, owned by Microsoft. Microsoft is a company that promotes toxic positivity, and oh, this is your safe space, and you shouldn't be bullied at all on the internet, and if anybody says anything mean to you and hurts your feelings, they're just an ist and a phobe. And, well, taking a look at the discussions, there are a lot of threads that are going up, and a lot that ultimately, are unmoderated. I think that there's just been so many posts being made, they're not moderating it to the extent that they could. But when you start getting into a few days ago, when you really get down onto the first page, there are many threads that are actually locked, and the I would assume lead community manager who has the developer account actually made a response to one of the posts that said so many people banned. I want to draw a parallel to what happens in every game that follows an agenda. It is essentially this, and Valve doesn't care. This is already a Reddit, and the topic has been locked, and it was only a few posts long, and the CM said, I'll just briefly comment here before locking this post, as a few community members here have hit the proverbial nail on the head. We do not ban people for voicing an opinion. We ban those who break the terms of service, instigate hate speech, deliberately troll, and those who ignore repeated warnings. Now, I think it is extremely important to point out that these types of people think that everything is hate speech. They think everything is inappropriate. They think everything is deliberately trolling. If they don't like something that you say, even if I say, oh, this game fucking looks like it sucks, they would say, that's inappropriate, that breaks the community rules, and we're going to ban you for that if the person that is reading it takes that to heart and they take it personally. And this is just a big issue with the toxic positivity that is pushed in basically every industry now. But it's basically, if you don't have something nice to say, you shouldn't say it if you are on the opposing end of the political spectrum, or you simply do not agree with the person running the forums. And I get, right, eventually there is going to come a point where, yeah, somebody's going to break a rule and you're going to remove their post. I'm not saying that every single post that they've ever removed is completely unjustified. I'm sure that there are always going to be some people who are going to push the limits. But in this case, why would you even lock this? You could just make this response and be done with it. In this thread, there is no sexism going on, racism going on. It's people criticizing and talking about Reddit and talking about how there are some people that think Fable is a DEI mess. That's it. We're not talking about insults. We're not talking about really terrible post. We're not talking about somebody targeting a specific developer, nothing that breaks any rule. So you shouldn't have even locked it in the first place. And really, what you are doing is you are proving that you are just locking threads that you don't like. So, not a good look here. They say, though, it is not just myself, but Valve employees also respond to reported posts within this community hub. They are much more heavy handed than I am and can remove a player's ability to post in all Steam forums. Now, usually it will say that it is locked by a Steam moderator. None of the threads that are locked here say that. So he's basically just trying to turn the blame away from him and the Fable team. He's trying to redirect it towards Steam, which is probably also not a good look. But they say, so please have adult discussions, ask questions, raise criticism. Just consider how you're presenting it, the wording you choose to use, and who it's targeted towards. If you're not sure if something you're about to post violates our forum code of conduct, then it probably does. I think that if I post this game looks fucking stupid and these developers suck at their jobs, that would be deleted. Which is funny because they are taking everything so personally. But these are not the only posts that are like being removed, threads that are being locked down. This person said LGBTQ plus, it says so right there in the tags, no money for you. Now, yes, the original poster, someone named Bray, and another user named Dmaster were all arguing over this topic, and it's actually a very, very long thread. But apparently, the community manager just didn't want them bickering anymore and having this discussion anymore. I'm not obviously going to read the entire thread because we would be here all day, but yeah, it all stems from somebody just saying, yeah, I'm not going to give you money. And that's their right. It really bothers me when you see developers and community managers and really just shows online saying, oh my gosh, you have to buy a game when there's LGBTQ plus themes. And if you simply don't buy a game because of these themes, you're a bigot. I think that's ridiculous. Like, people are allowed to buy and not buy what they want and do not want. Somebody posted, please don't be woke. This was one of the best and beloved franchises from Microsoft, and look at what they did to it. Please don't make it woke. Why do you hire all these woke employees? This topic has been locked. It turned into another heated debate. But again, I don't think that a heated debate means that people should instantly be silenced and they should instantly be banned and their threads should instantly be locked. Here is another post of somebody claiming that the mods are deleting threads complaining about the unattractive female NPCs. It says, I posted a thread where I asked if they could make some of the women in the game more attractive as they seem mediocre or ugly with flat chests, when in Fable 1 and 2, there were busty, attractive women you could marry. I also suggested that they have male and female in the character builder instead of body type A and B. None of what I said was against TOS. It has been deleted, and this is just the unfortunate truth of forums now, especially forums for games that, yes, are deemed woke, that do want to push political correctness and ultimately do want to make a political statement. They do not want you to criticize their vision. They don't want you to criticize their product, and they're just going to say, well, just don't buy it and go find a different game. And that's what people do. This is why so many of these games fail. And I'm not sitting here saying, oh, Fable's definitely going to be a failure. Maybe over the months, they're going to fix up some of the problems people have said they have. Maybe they actually will listen to us in a few different instances. Maybe they could turn things around. Maybe it'll be a fun game. But right now, I think that it just looks like Avowed. I think that it looks really uninspiring. I don't think that it really looks or feels like Fable at all whatsoever. They've gotten rid of the style and the tone, and to me, it just doesn't look that promising. But ultimately, yeah, I mean, we are seeing mods locking down threads, apparently deleting threads, and they're getting wrecked for it on social media right now. This NPC runs a daycare. I can just feel it. Oh, you're banned. That's it. Nothing shouts medieval times like a black lesbian. Banned. Ding, ding, ding. Another ugly game that will be praised by journalists because it's DEI slop. That's actually what's happening right now with 1348X Photo, because it's got a lesbian knight lead character. That means that it's amazing to them. But when you actually start criticizing the way that the game looks and some of the character designs and how the visual style doesn't look good, oh, you're just a bigot and you just don't understand what makes that game special to so many people. They also forgot to add male animations to the main characters. They are a bunch of unserious people. Female, more like female, the moderators in question. Well, at least I found out what the point of it was. Now it makes sense. That'll keep gamers from finding out about it for sure. We also know that, yes, one of the level designers is a non binary trans femme, they, her. I did another video on this topic. It will be linked down below. But they had said, to be honest, this just makes me want to make more aggressively queer games. Fuck the hate. I don't do this for you. I do this for the 15-year-old me who thought they would never make games or be the woman they knew they were. So yeah, this person admits that they are doubling, tripling, and quadrupling down on aggressively queer content. Hiding valid criticism is a great way to start winning skeptical people over who are tired of modern slop. So, yeah, it's not looking particularly good for the Fable team right now. I'll be keeping a close eye on this. I highly doubt that they're going to sort of change their ways. And again, there are quite a few posts that are actually up on the forums that are unmoderated, but I don't know if that's just because they don't want to face any more backlash and they've realized on social media they've been getting wrecked for this. I don't know if they just haven't been around the past few days. You never truly know the details. Either way, though, they were locking down threads, and it's not a good look for them. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.